If I had to describe Shadow of the Erdtree in just 5 words, it would be...
Wait! There's actually still more?
Or, well, let's go with a different 5 words.
How do I get there?
And ladies and gentlemen, tarnished all, it's good. It's very good. It is a masterpiece of an expansion. Hello then. Oh yes. I am so excited to say the words I'm about to say to you over the next minutes I'm about to say them, because thanks to Bandai, and seriously, thank you, we have been playing early, furiously, every single minute of every single day devoted to Shadow of the Erdtree, and it has been incredible. This is a masterclass in how to give more to something that was already so perfect. And it is up there now when it comes to expansions with, at least for me personally, Blood and Wine as the epitome of just how good it can get to get more of what was so very good to begin with. I want to keep all of this, of course, as spoiler-free, as light as possible. I don't want to ruin anything, because discovery is everything here, and I'm so glad I can say that. Of course, reviews came out. Sadly, we weren't quite ready with ours at the time, but I would rather be able to give you everything you could possibly need post-launch, and we plan on doing exactly that. But for now, I just wanted to say that, hey, yeah, we have been playing, and if you had any kind of concerns or qualms going in, I cannot stress enough how much you need not harbor them any longer. They really have, as I said, recaptured that sense of discovery, wonder, and amazement that Elden Ring brought. That going down Siofra River well moment I have been struck with like 3 or 4 times. The frequency at which you will literally see something and go, wait a minute, that's a playable area, I can go there, that's a whole other section, and then immediately follow up with, wait, how do I get there? How do I get up there? How do I get down there? How do I get to that? The amount of times I have said that to myself, to Cotton in the Pro and Noob series, which is all lovely recorded and done, and I cannot wait to share it with you guys. It is one of our best, and it was so much fun. Brutal, but so much fun, and everything new that there is to find, from the weapons to the incants to the ashes to the armor to the sorceries, though I do wish the sorceries came a little bit sooner and more often, but that's very much a nitpick as someone who is very much biased towards the sorcery magic side of things. There's just goodies everywhere. They weren't kidding when they said it was denser and smaller, though actually no, they were kidding when they said smaller. I'm not sure if Miyazaki's actually looked at the map of Elden Ring, but this is a lot more than Limgrave. It is Limgrave stacked upon Limgrave next to Limgrave, with another Limgrave angled balancing on top of it, with an Limgrave below it, and then just another Limgrave sprinkled on top, split up, and attached. It really is that expansive. The verticality and layering is everything here, and I will admit that initially it can actually seem a bit frustrating, because you are given that view of so much that you can and will eventually do, but it can actually turn out to be quite like, I really can't work out how to get there. The main sort of story, air quotes, and it's much more of a story this time as opposed to little tidbits of lore, is fairly straightforward to follow, and in doing so you will get to a lot of places. But I can't deny there is so much here, and so much of it is teased yet held back until much later, that you really will start craving a way to get there now. And the best way that I can really hammer this home is essentially every single ledge, even in the limited creator and press servers that we had, is just covered in bloodstains of people trying to make jumps to get to areas because they can't figure out the way to get there, and they want to get get there. Now, the amount of bloodstains of just people hurtling to their doom is hilarious and a real testament of how much it drives that need to explore feeling in you once again. It also drives that need to feeling in you, because make no mistake, this is brutal. Go in at level 150, go in with a proper fine-tuned build and a +10 weapon and everything you could need min-max from the base game, because you will need it. Use the scadutree fragments when you get them, look for them, and don't bash your head against remembrance bosses, because Millennia is like the base level here. Every single one, bar a couple, absolutely ruined me for a couple of hours until I got the hang of them. And I realize a couple of hours doesn't seem a crazy amount, but when you have played as much Souls as I have, I don't think it's unfair to say that I would consider myself at minimum above average. Let's go crazy. I really do think some people are going to really struggle here if they are stubborn with how they take their boss fights and don't go on exploring. And on that note, yeah, the scadutree fragments, while a little bit boring in the sense that it's just percent increases to your damage and damage taken and such, it does achieve that solution of making DLC still interesting in its progression, because things are brutal without it and they become much more manageable much quicker with them as you find them. It really isn't so much as like an optional easy mode, as opposed to you are challenge running and then some if you're not using them as you find them, and I wouldn't blame anyone that goes hoovering them up to give themselves a head start, and indeed we will be sharing with you soon how to get a good chunk of them so things are a little bit smoother, and really cannot stress how much that you might find that necessary. But yeah, there is new things everywhere. So many new enemies, a few favorites from back in the lands between, but with new moves, changes, and surprises to catch you off guard. And then the actual raw boss quality, ignoring difficulty, is as high as it's ever been in a Souls game. It really is special. So many of my favorite bosses, well, honestly, across all Souls, are now from Shadow of the Erdtree, and a couple of them have made it into my all-time just purely favorite bosses, full stop, in gaming. There really is some spectacle here, and while it can be, as I say, punishing, it is supremely satisfying to master. And don't let anybody judge you for using spirit summons or NPC summons. You really want to use all of the tools that the game can throw at you. Hell, there is an item to power up spirit ashes as you go along, just like the scadutree fragments, and it's very much clearly intended to be there, along with some charming new spirit summons that you can find that you will want to use. One I found, and immediately I would die for it. So, yeah, I really cannot stress that in essence, in a nutshell, if you loved Elden Ring, this is just more Elden Ring, and dare I say it, better. Like, it really is. I don't think I've ever played a bigger expansion to a, I guess, not MMORPG in my life. There is just so much going on here everywhere you look, and you just will want to devour it. It is uncanny how well they have managed to refine the essence of what made Elden Ring so special, turn it up to 11, and then just crystallize an entire new world for us to explore in that image. Polished to a mirror shine. There is just so much to love here. There really, really is. The 8 new weapon types are a joy. They each have their real strengths, and all of them are exceptionally fun to use, barring, I would say, perfume bottles, which are, you know, a novelty, but I will be surprised if they don't rank bottom when it comes to the popularity of the new 8, with light greatswords and great katanas probably taking the top 2 spots, though not for me personally, though I do love light greatswords. And then when it comes to a few of the issues base Elden Ring had, copy-paste bosses everywhere, a bajillion identical tiny dungeons, that's kind of been dealt with. Actually, it's to the point where I'm like, I actually wish there was more kind of random bosses, even if they're a little bit repeaty dotted around the place, because you really do have to go finding them. The dungeons that are here are wonderful. They are bigger, they're more expansive, they're more complex, they're more satisfying, they really feel like actual mini adventures worth delving into into and getting their secrets, and they do have their challenges. Some don't even have bosses in, they are just there to find cool stuff, and that's a nice change of pace. It really, really is. Every cave is really worth going into, not just because it might contain a cool unique item like the base game, but because it will contain a satisfying to explore level that is actually worth your time. There's loads of cool new mechanics to catch you off guard and for you to play around with, and it's just crazy again, and I really can't stress it how much stuff there is everywhere all of the time. It's almost sensory overload when it comes to the realm of Shadow. There is so much to pull you in every direction. The NPC storylines with the followers of Miquella are really seamless, and they've made it a lot easier to actually keep up with them and not miss important events and progress, which is really nice to see, and it really does just harken back to, as I said, it's Elden Ring, but refined, denser, yet still massive and better. You get that Limgrave moment walking out and looking over it at your first proper grace over and over and over, and you are going to be eating good as a tarnished. There is so many builds I want to try. The potential here is sky high. I have so many ideas already written down, ready to go, and I cannot wait to share them with you all. Look, you will have heard it from the reviews, you probably don't need to hear it again from me, but I couldn't not at least give it the praise, sing it that it deserves, because it really does deserve it. They have outdone themselves here, and if this is, and it is, the only extra content Elden Ring will get, well, they have made sure that it is meaningful, it will leave its mark, and that we will be playing it for at least another year, and still discovering new things within it the entire time. My god! Oh, the fact that we have so many new remembrance bosses that it almost matches the base game is just ludicrous. It really, really is. But yeah, I just kind of wanted to get that out. It really is everything we could have wanted and more, and I hope you guys enjoy it. And of course, we will be, well, giving you all of the guidage on everything everywhere that you could ask for, and of course, feel free to leave them until you've played yourself, then come back and have a look. It's entirely up to you, but most importantly, yeah, have a good time, savor it, because you only get your first time through once. For now then, like if you've enjoyed this, subscribe and hit the bell for more. Consider supporting the future of the channel on Patreon down below, and until we meet again, a goodbye.
Josh, Cotton, and Hollow with the videos, dropping the humor like a hammer on your tippy toes, bringing entertainment on a daily arrangement to take our insanity and turn it into entertainment. Yes, I said entertainment twice, to reiterate that it is nice to look into your faces on a mostly daily basis when you let us in your homes to make the whole world a stage. Goodbye.